Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
lady.
everyone. How are you?
Good, good. Another Thursday. Here we go. You guys
Yep.
good?
Yep. Doing good.
All right. All right. I am so happy we all are to welcome all of you to another edition of Brand Rewind Live. It is Thursday, April 13th. Thanks for being here. I'm Denise Kakler. I'm coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts, where we hit a record, I think like 87 degrees today in April. Oh my gosh, what is going on? My company's MDK Brand Management.
Hi, everyone. I am Barika Fellows Bell. I'm coming to you from a very cool 57 degrees Los Angeles, and it looks all rainy, and I'm jealous of that weather on the East Coast right now. And my company is B3 Media Solutions.
Are you muted, Patia?
We can't hear you, Patia.
Oh, where's Patia? We can see her. Is she talking?
She is talking. Well, she'll be right back. I'm sure she's gonna hop right on.
And what's funny is those of you who are joining us, we literally just finished talking right before the show. So no idea what's happening right now with Patia because she was fine 5 minutes ago. So that is strange. So what we are going to do today is kick off the show with some gifts because we were chatting, the three of us, and we decided, you know what, we've got some gifts we want to give away. We want to give away the gifts to our regulars, folks who join us at the very beginning of the show. And so, oh, here's Patia.
Hi.
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Go ahead, Patia.
Okay, so as you guys know, if you're regulars, I'm Patia Abdul-Razak. The name of my business is the Stylista Group. I'm coming to you from an unusually warm Harlem. It's been 86 degrees today. Crazy. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're kicking off today's show with a lovely surprise for 3 of our regular guests. And so, Denise, if you can tell us the first 3 people who put a shout out in the comment section or said hi, we're going to reward you guys with some gifts. So, Denise, who do we have?
Wow, look at that. We've got Pop Research. Woohoo! Yay, Pop Research. You just won a gift from Lacelle Kiss.
Oh my God. Yay.
Yes, Pop Research. Thank you so much for being here, Pop Research. And you are one of our regulars, so we so appreciate you. The second gift from Vera Moore goes to Fawn Thurman. Hey, Fawn, another one of our regulars. We are thanking you, Fawn, for being here as you always are. And our third gift goes to our regular viewer, who is Yvonne Jones. You're the third one to join and give us a shout out. So congratulations, Yvonne. Yvonne is the winner of the Harkest Designs gift. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Others joined too, I can see after that. But and then we have a Facebook user who says that hey, Facebook user, that the reception is breaking up. So hopefully you'll be able to find some stability and be part of the show. But thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Yay. Okay. Within the next 48 hours, please send us an email at brandrewind@gmail.com. Simple. brandrewind@gmail.com, and send us your information, so your name, your phone number, and of course your mailing address, so that we can send your gifts to you. And thank you for being here.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And you guys, you know what else is fun? Scrabble. So today, Thursday, April 13th, we always say how there's a day for something, like everything's acknowledged by some kind of special day. Today is National Scrabble Day. You guys play Scrabble? Do you ever play Scrabble?
Love to play.
I have, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, it feels, and I hate to say this because I love Scrabble too, but doesn't it feel, well, it's old school because now you got Wordle. Everything's like on the phone now.
Right. Absolutely. I love Scrabble.
I'm definitely more of a Wordle person. I do, like in my downtime or when I'm in line, I love to be on Wordle. So I've
Yeah.
switched over.
Yeah, I agree. Daniel and I do it every night. We're up to, I think, 73, I think, consecutive wins and
Oh my,
plays.
wow,
73. Wow.
a lot.
70
That is
73.
a lot.
Well, and what's funny is I remember before we were at 73, we went to sleep and we forgot. And the next morning I went to him and I said, guess what? We forgot to do Wordle. He's like, oh my God. Like literally, he was like, oh my God, we forgot Wordle. Because then you got to start over again. If you forget
Right.
to do, you start over from, from back
From
to
from scratch. Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
So no, we have to do Wordle. Like it's our thing at nighttime, which is nice. We have fun doing it. So with that, Barika, kick us off. What's going
Yeah.
on?
So, you guys, we have some wonderful stories that we want to share with you this week, and it's going to start a little on the outrageous side. So, this week, I just want to share with everyone. We saw the WWE. I don't know how many of you are fans, but I grew up watching the WWE as a child. And so they actually had to apologize because they were promoting the upcoming match between Dominic Mysterio and his father, Rey Mysterio. And in that, they used an image of Auschwitz. So, because they used the image, of course, there was outrage from the community because they unknowingly is what they said. They unknowingly used the image. It was a promotional video that they used to actually say that Dominic's backstory, it had a bunch of clips, and between the rift, Dominic was imprisoned, and they showed this exact image of the prison. And of course, WWE made a quick apology about the incident, stating that it was an accident, that they did not know that it was actually the image. They were just looking for a prison image, and they immediately, within the hour, took it down and apologized for using the image as part of their promotional activity. Now, of course, um, Twitter went crazy. The news cycles went crazy because it's such a sensitive subject to so many people who were murdered at that particular location. And for it to be used, it was really just kind of a hurtful thing. Whether it was an accident or not, the brand did make the move to take it down immediately when they caught it. However, my question is, to the brand, like, you may not know that that is the image, but who's checking to see those things? Who's looking at the things that are being put out? And I think that that's something that we've seen with a number of brands like Balenciaga, when they made the misstep with having children in bondage outfits. They know, who, no one's kind of like having some type of oversight on those things. So I think it's really important as a brand that you always have somebody with eyes on things, and kind of like, even if you may not know, they were probably just Googling shot of a prison and
Right.
then put it in there, which is definitely there. But there's somebody should be like fact checking or like looking at everything to make sure that, is this a cultural faux pas? Is this something that we may have misstepped in? Because they definitely hurt the community with that misstep.
Absolutely. Wow.
Sometimes I wonder if these things are missteps because what does that say? No publicity is bad publicity.
Mm,
It even when companies make these missteps, it still brings attention their way, and
mhm,
That's true.
unfortunately there are people who don't care, so
mhm.
they still end up getting the support. Like nobody, I mean, I'm trying to think of who has actually gone out of business or whatever because they did something like this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like sometimes,
Yeah.
because it happens so frequently, I often wonder if people are really taking these missteps seriously, or sometimes if they're done on purpose just to get the interest,
Mhm.
right? And draw attention to themselves, and then they end up being okay anyway. I mean, how many times are we going to do different versions of this same story? Like, it's over and decades later and dozens of years later, again and again and again. So
You're
the
right.
question in my mind, how many times are we going to say brands should have people to check things, or you should be
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Nobody's
No,
doing
you're right. You're
it.
absolutely right. I think that the thing here is that if it was done on purpose just to bring attention to this backstory, like that is really like like we probably wouldn't even been reporting on it. No, we wouldn't have reported on it because it wouldn't have been of interest to see who between his father and his son. But because
Right.
they used that
Because of
image, lots of people tuned in because they wanted to see what was the image that was used and why was there, a father and a son. Like it was kind of a drama thing. And of course, if you
right.
didn't know, the father won by a
Uh,
landslide.
Okay.
So he
wow.
did.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think that that is definitely a thought that brands might have in mind to like get a little more steam and
There's
traction on something that may not have as much interest.
right.
Hmm.
Up a bit.
Yep.
I'm always. I don't know.
I
Well,
know, getting to the minds of brands, right?
yeah. So Denise, do you have something that can lift our spirits?
I'm gonna lighten us up a little bit. I'm gonna lighten up the mood greatly. I'm making this switch to someone who everyone knows. And what I like about the brand that she projected is that she's leaning in to her brand, her humanity, her womanhood. That person is Halle Berry. We all know her. She's a household name. She took to Instagram a few days ago, and perhaps you saw this because it made the rounds. And she is chilling, and she posted a photo of herself standing on her balcony in the nude, sipping a glass of wine. Take a look. And this is a beautiful photo. She's definitely showing that she is strong, she's beautiful, she's empowered, she's leaning in not only into her own skin, but she is sharing that skin with complete strangers.
Yes.
Now, and I wonder who took the picture. I gotta
Who took
wonder
the
who took
picture?
the picture. And you read the comments here, and one of the comments says, "Well, it's perfectly positioned because you don't really
Right.
see
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
where the grading or the bars or whatever the fencing or the balcony is covering her arm, the wine. But you know what? I'm like, you go, girl. So you see here
You
her
go,
caption,
girl.
I do what I want to do. You go. We do what we want to do. So I gotta live vicariously through her because who would not want to be able to do something like that? I mean, I have balconies in my house. I can't imagine standing nude on the first of all, I don't have the trees and the
Right.
shading that she has. My neighbors have clear view of my balcony, so that would not be a pretty sight. But I love what this image shows about her brand, and she's comfortable and confident in who she is, and she does not care, and I love it. So that's why I picked that one as a story to talk about with us.
No. I
Yes.
like that comment. Somebody else said, she said, well-behaved women never made history.
Yeah. That's
And,
Mhm.
like that, I mean, she's definitely made history with her career and the choices that she's made. But I love that picture too, because it's just like, yeah, girl, you like being comfortable in who you are and, adding a little shading so that nobody really sees anything that, I'm in support. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and that's her brand. I mean, that's what between the hair. Remember, she was the one who
Yeah.
rocked that short haircut many, many years ago, and everybody got their Halle Berry haircuts. And
Yep.
then of course she grew it out, and I guess it's long again now. But yeah, my you go girl. Like I said, you go girl.
Oh, so Nancy said, I think it's a publicity stunt.
That's the word we're just talking about that, right? Publicity for publicity's sake.
Like, I don't know. Does she have a movie coming out?
I know.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what's coming next after she gets all this attention, right? And then it's going to be, by the way,
Well,
Yes.
some of these celebrities, when they're not in the news, to Nancy's point, when they're not in the news for like a week, like what can we do to get in the news? What can we do? So maybe to Nancy's point, this is a way to get her back in the news. But I mean, she got to show she can do something like this because she's got the body to do it too. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
somebody
true.
would do it who doesn't. Maybe somebody would do it who doesn't have the body. I don't know. I just think it's cool, publicity or not.
Lizzo, I feel like Lizzo has done something very
That's a good
similar.
example.
Yeah.
Good example.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Mhm.
think it was tastefully done. I mean, you can see, but not really see. And then because she's a woman of a certain age, also, like, she's just like, hey,
Mhm.
comfortable. This is me. And, it's tasteful. And I think I love it. It's fine.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, tasteful and loving it. Speaking of tasteful and loving it, Patia, you're up.
Right. Well, once tasteful, right? So today I talk about
Yeah.
the empire of Tupperware. Many of us have stored very tasty food over the years in Tupperware. And unfortunately, the brand is, let me double check my facts, 77 years old, and it seems to be on its last breath. They are trying really hard to pivot and save themselves. However, it seems like at this point they are unsavable. So just to give you kind of an idea of the footprint of the brand, they have offices in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Middle East, and parts of Asia. So this is a huge company with a really large global footprint. However, over the years, their main problem has been that they have not really evolved with the needs of society. I mean, it's plastic, right? Even if they,
Mhm.
like, some of the newer containers have like pretty colors and they're a little different. However, it's still plastic. And as we know, the present day consumer is a little more conscious of materials being used. We all know that over time you store your food in plastic. Over time, as the plastic ages, some of the materials from the plastic can get into your food. It's not so healthy for you, that sort of thing. And so
Mm.
consumers have actually been choosing to not use plastic so much. And so when your entire business is based on plastic, um,
Plastic, yeah.
there goes the situation. So it seems like they are trying really hard. Their share price has dropped from 2.45 a share to $1.50 a share as of this.
Wow.
They've been selling off all the assets they can possibly sell off. However, the problem is that their product, right, the main thing that they sell that drives revenue,
Yeah.
is not, they needed to come out with something else over the years, different
Yeah,
product lines to kind of like balance this, and they did not. So unfortunately, I don't know how much longer they're going to last like this, but it seems that they are on their way out. So at some point we may have like a Tupperware museum or something. Right? There's still people in the store who have some of the original pieces, but this doesn't seem really good for the brand. And so I think this is a cautionary tale for all brands, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Who've been around for a while. Like, you can't just ignore what's happening around you, and you have to pay attention to the evolving needs of society and your end customer.
right. It's true. You have to listen.
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a
And
larger footprint. Like, they should not be going out of business. Like, there's so many things that they could have done over the
But what? Like what would they sell? Like,
somebody else asked that. Who asked that? Pop Research, I think, just asked that question. Like, where could they
yeah, what can a plastic company pivot to?
stop depending on so much plastic.
do something? Yeah. Because it's interesting. They have that powerful brand name.
Yeah.
It's a household name, so they could really pivot still.
Yeah,
'Cause they're not
Yeah.
completely done. They're not done yet
they're
completely.
not done yet. They're not done
No.
yet.
And so they could, and who knows? I mean, we could figure it out right now. We could, we'd be millionaires,
Right,
bazillionaires, and we could figure out what they should do in the half hour we're talking on
right,
this show. But put all those brains in a room and figure out, okay, what can we easily pivot to before, but maybe our viewers will have some ideas. But here's the thought before I shut up. Think about companies, to your point, Patia, the companies that have gone out of business because they didn't pivot, weren't
Mhm.
listening to their end user, weren't seeing all the changes happening in the world. One company that comes to mind is Encyclopedia
Mm.
Britannica.
right.
Yes.
Remember the salespeople were carrying around all those heavy books,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they did pivot to, and their competition was pivoting to
Right.
CDs,
Right.
with the information, and they got blown out of the water, and they went out of business.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Tupperware, maybe there's something like that. I have zero idea right now what they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that their marketing people are trying to figure it out as well because they need to come up with
They
something that
bet.
they can own. Otherwise, they will go the way of Encyclopedia Britannica.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
I mean,
But it's funny. There are other. I mean, I have a ton of in my cabinet upstairs. I've got a ton of plastics
Yeah.
which is terrible. I just said that, but I do where I keep all my stuff, all my leftovers in, and that's plastic, just like Tupperware. What are those companies? I don't even know what the brands are.
yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
it is.
know.
Maybe it
Nancy
is.
says she used Tupperware for years. I'm sure a lot of
Most
people.
people did. I think most.
Yeah,
I'm sure most people do.
I'm
yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
honestly.
Iconic brand for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder if at some point they didn't start to see the downward. Like you always see it, right? And nobody
Well,
cares.
You should.
Oh, we'll get over this. I mean, come on. It's like
yeah,
it's sad. It's sad because
Yes.
definitely iconic brand.
yeah.
Hey, so what else do we have that we can
So
check?
I have found a story that I just thought was really funny. I don't know if you guys remember the movie from like 2002, but it's Joanna Man. So if you guys are not familiar with Joanna Man was a man that actually dressed up as a woman and played with a women's basketball team. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So this is Nick Young. He is a former NBA star, and he no longer plays, but he is a champion. He has won a ring. But over the weekend, he tweeted out, "Can I be the first Joanna Man for the WNBA? I'm trying to hoop." So I guess he's trying to come back to basketball. So he reached out to the LA Sparks in the tweet below and said, "LA Sparks, y'all can draft me with the 10th pick tomorrow. I'm ready." LA Sparks replied back, "We'll pass, Nick. Let us know when your daughter is ready to play."
Oh
And
wow.
followed it up with, "You know that women's basketball is fire when former NBA players are trying to join the team." So, unfortunately, he was unable to join the WNBA, but shout out to the WNBA for handling it, keeping it classy, and making sure that it's about the women playing the sport. And yes, it is fire, and kudos to them because I love the WNBA and what they're putting down.
Yeah. I want to take something what Nancy said. I think that is a publicity stunt.
It is. That is definitely a publicity.
Well, he was trying to get back, hot.
Right. Exactly. Get his name out there. Yeah. And in talk about old school and iconic Joanna Man. I never saw that movie though.
I mean, he threw it back. He threw it out. But I mean, it was a cultural reference, and I feel like a lot of people got it, and it didn't work. But hey,
right.
Anything for some attention, especially on social media.
Anything.
That's the world we live in now, unfortunately.
It's true. For the likes. For the likes.
For the likes. Oh, well, I have a not so pleasant story, but I think we need to cover it at least for a little bit. The whole fiasco with Dalai Lama. Boy, that whole incident.
Terrible.
That happened. I mean, I was in disbelief. I had to read several articles to make sure it wasn't fake news, and then of course there are pictures and a video to prove that it is in fact true. And talk about a brand being ruined almost immediately, right? This has been a symbol of wholesomeness and peace and everything associated with goodness for such a long time. Like, why would he do something like this?
Why?
Some explanation about, oh, he likes to joke around. Like, you don't joke around like this, though. This is a child. And it seems, maybe this is my interpretation, but it seems like the little boy may have been uncomfortable. I mean, because it's just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So, what does this now mean? Does he have to step away? Is he gonna, he has apologized, or his people have issued an apology. But I feel like when you hold, a certain position in society, things like this should never happen. He should know better. And it also raises the question in my head, has this happened before and we just didn't know?
And we didn't know about it? That's a good point.
Yeah. One of the things I read was for in the Tibetan culture, sticking out your tongue is supposed to be some, pleasant gesture or whatever the
Oh,
word is, an acceptable gesture. And as there are in different cultures, or things that other cultures do that different cultures don't understand. But the reason he apologized, as you pointed out, Patia, they issued an apology, is because it's one thing to stick out your tongue. It's another thing to say
they
and expect that kid to do what he said he wanted that kid to do.
not.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. So it was definitely unfortunate that that happened because what do you do? Like you apologize and move on? Like is that I don't know, like if that was my child, I would
That's
not be okay about it.
right.
Um,
No
So
matter
like I don't know.
no matter what. No
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
true what, Antonio, I think it's Antonio said, thank goodness for cameras, because we don't know half the stuff that happened before cameras came along.
Yes. You're
exactly.
right.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
That's my concern. Like this has probably been happening. We just never saw it.
I hope not. Oh my
Right,
gosh, I
Right.
can't.
I know. Like nobody wants to go there with the Dalai Lama because it's the
nobody,
Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
wants.
definitely a brand rewind moment. Here's another brand rewind moment, and we'll end with this story because I don't know whether to, make fun of it or treat it as seriously as it probably should be treated, which is the 78-year-old woman is a bank robber. She robbed three banks. The third time is when she got caught. So 78-year-old woman with two past bank robbery convictions was arrested again for a third heist in Missouri. Her name is Bonnie Gooch, and she walked into Gobbert Financial Bank and allegedly handed a note to the teller demanding thousands of dollars in cash. And she also, this is interesting, she also left a note saying, "Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you," before driving off with the cash. So, okay, so she's a nice bank
What?
robber who cares. She scared somebody while robbing them at their place of work and getting away with money. But she got busted. She said that well, she got away with about, oh no, she was jailed in a bond of $25,000. So again, third time, the first time that she was arrested, I think it goes back to 1977 was the first time she robbed a bank and got away with and got convicted. She got caught and was convicted. Then she robbed a bank again in 2020 and was, found out and convicted. In this one in 2020, she reportedly handed the teller a birthday card that had "This is a robbery" written in the card.
Uh,
So she's they said she has no ailments, but due to her age, the department is trying to determine if there are any underlying health factors that could have contributed to the incident.
So she didn't have a gun. It was just a
Mm-mm.
note every time.
Apparently,
Does that
maybe
mean
they
give
was.
me like do I have to give you the money? You're an old lady. I'm not gonna give you any money. And you like, do you have a gun?
Are you going to take that chance, Marika, when somebody's robbing you at a bank?
Like
Are
you
you
need
going to
to
wait for
go
them to
be with your grandkids.
no, you're not gonna wait for them to pull out a gun and shoot you. I'd be like, no, here you I would give them money. Here you go, here you go, here you go. But you're right. You're right. I don't think that she had anything except for the note. But I don't know. You never know. Maybe she had an accomplice waiting for somebody to say no.
right. Maybe there's somebody like hovering behind her, and that's who you're really scared of because you're like, if I don't give her the money, this person's gonna like, bump me off or something. I don't
No. I mean, we got all
Okay,
those
so but every
shows.
time she got caught, so like I don't understand like the first time she got caught, like how did she get to do it again 2 additional times?
She's brazen, bold. She goes to prison, gets out, and does it again.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so like Nancy said that people are acting crazy, but Antonio, he said note passing is common in banks and banks instruct you to comply. Okay. So if I
Yes,
have to
exactly.
comply,
Yes. It's not
fine.
worth
do
it.
it.
It's not worth it. I would absolutely comply. It's like, here you go, and just hope that they leave without, shooting or hurting anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Well, as usual, such great conversation. We're at time. Let's take a quick look to see if there are any additional comments. I know we've been sharing throughout the show anything that we didn't get a chance to highlight that we can close things off with. Comments or questions?
Yeah, looks like we got to
We
end.
got
We
I
yeah, we
think so.
that
And
is
I think Antonio is right. Vince has always been controversial, and I would not put it past him. He's done a bunch of things over the past years that have made the news. So I would not put it past him that that was just another part of his strategy.
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He does have a history of being a little, politically
Yeah.
correct, if I think absolutely. Okay, you guys, this has been fun. This
Yeah.
for today. Please remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brand Rewind. And also, if you know any stories that you'd like us to cover, you can always send us an email, fine@gmail.com.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for being here. As always, thank you so much for contributing to this very exhilarating discussion. We really appreciate that. And we appreciate you. And we hope to see you right back here in 2 weeks on Thursday, April 27th.
Absolutely. And one more for our 3 winners, don't forget to send your information to us as well. All right.
Bye-bye, everyone.